Call our April 26th Jackson County Commission meeting to order. Have a roll call.
District 1, Mr. Guffey. District 2, Mr. Wimble. Present. District 3, Mr. Miller.
Present.
District 4, Mr. Leslie.
Present.
Chairman also present.
Okay. So we have a quorum present. We'll have our invocation by Mr. Porter and our pledge by Mr. Bass.
God, our sovereign Father, we're blessed to be here again today. We're so thankful for this beautiful weather that we're experiencing right now. We pray that it will continue. We're also thankful for the other blessings that you provided for us in this county, and great natural beauty that we're all able to enjoy. We're thankful for the people of the county and their hearts and their efforts to do good things in this county and in this nation. So God, we're thankful for these things. Pray you watch over these men and guide them and direct them as they make decisions regarding the people of this county. That their decisions will be in the best interest of all concerned. Watch over us and guide us. In Christ's name, amen.
Amen.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
First item on the agenda, or first item, the approval of the minutes. We have several minutes in here. We have started to keep the minutes or just keep an outline of the work session and any budget meetings, things like that we have, so you'll see copies of those in here as well. So we have six different minutes this afternoon, so we can approve them individually or all together.
Make a motion to approve them all together.
Okay, motion to approve all of those items. Do we have a second? Okay, any discussion? All those in favor say aye. Those opposed say no. Okay. Next item is approval of the agenda. We have 14 items on the agenda this afternoon. Any changes before we proceed? Have a motion to approve the agenda as presented.
So moved.
Motion and a second.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor say aye. Opposed say no. Okay, no awards and no public comments, no old business, so we'll move straight into new business. And the first item is regarding application for industrial access road project. You have a copy of the application here for Project Spike, and I'll ask Matt Hobbs if you would just kind of explain the process of this.
Sure. So my name's Matt Halls. I'm with CDG Engineers. We helped put together the cost estimate for this project, potential project. And basically at this point we're seeking approval to move forward with placing the application in the hands of the Industrial Access Board. The applications are due this Friday, the 29th by 5 p.m. in Montgomery. If we get it there and it is considered on the agenda, it would become a part of the next Industrial Access Board meeting, which is on June the 14th, and at which time they will consider it publicly and make an award at that time. So if you guys have any questions about anything in the application, we're happy to answer those, but seeking your approval to move forward with placing the application into the Industrial Access Board.
Any questions or comments? We do need to move forward with this afternoon to be in this grant cycle, correct?
I think it's 3 times a year. This will last me till October.
Any questions or comments? Okay, do we have a motion to approve the application?
So moved.
Motion, we have a second. Okay, any discussion? Okay, motion and second. All those in favor say aye. Those opposed say no. Okay. We'll get that signed shortly. Okay, next item, motion to approve the senior RX contract. This is for 1 employee, $50 million. That contract is up this month. So the only change that was made to the contract we have was we put effective date 30th of April, and of course it will go 12 months until next April. So any questions or comments on this item? Have a motion to approve this new agreement. Motion and a second. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye. Those opposed say no. Okay, next item is regarding the motion to approve the Putnam Mountain resolution, and again, this is proclaiming Green River National Home as Jackson County's official song. Any questions or comments on this? This was requested by members of the Historical Association.
By what?
Members of the Historical Association. Any questions? We have a motion to approve this resolution.
So moved.
Motion and a second. Any further discussion on this? All those in favor say aye. Those opposed say no. Okay, next item is regarding a decision on the A-Trip loan. You have a copy of the addendum. I don't know if we had this last week in a work session, but this is a copy of the addendum if we want to move forward and maintain that loan, or we could choose to pay that loan off. So how do we want to proceed with that?
I would like to pay the loan off. Their debt service still on $150,000, $157,000 a year. I mean, we could do several miles of chip seal ourselves if we put that same amount of money that we put into that debt service for our roads.
We're gonna have to turn around and borrow money to fix this ductwork and the chillers and the percentage rate that we're at. You know, I don't think it would be smart to pay it off and try and borrow money to fix this courthouse. But I understand where
We're not gonna spend that much money to fix the courthouse, air conditioning system.
I think it's gonna, yeah, it's not gonna be the cost of the debt, but it's gonna be several hundred thousand probably.
it is. You know, and I would have no problem paying half of this and doing as long as there's not a problem us keeping that same interest rate by dropping the amount we borrowed. Do you see a problem with that, Bob?
I don't see a problem, but I need to, check
Need to
with,
verify that?
verify that with,
Sometimes those interest rates are based on the amount. You know, if we pay half of it, we may not get that rate.
Any comment?
Do we want to table this item for, or can we go ahead and vote on that addendum and then?
I would say let's vote on the addendum, and then if we choose to pay it off, or if we choose to pay a portion of it off, we can still do that at a later
I
date.
think it's the addendum's mainly for clearing up that audit finding.
Correct.
That's the main.
Oh, this motion has nothing to do with
This
how we
addendum,
finance or pay.
We
the
have a motion
addendum
yet.
is basically clearing the finding just by putting the verbiage in that they've requested.
I'll make a motion to add this to that paperwork to clear that out and find out.
Second.
Motion approved in a second. Any further questions on this? If we can determine what type of early penalties there are, if any, I think we said there weren't, but
Yeah.
if the loan was reduced halfway, include that interest rate, which I wouldn't think so, but we'll check. And then we can bring that back and make a decision where we want to go at that point. So a motion and a second. Any other discussion? All those in favor say aye. Those opposed say no. Okay, next, excuse me. Next item is a proclamation declaring April Fair Housing Month. This is something that is necessary in order to qualify for the CDBG grants now. From the paperwork we received last week, I got a copy here, there were 2 items that were required, and this is one, and then publishing the information throughout the courthouse, which we did have some of that posted, is the other. And then there were a list of suggested activities. I think was asked if we had to do those. Those are just suggested activities that were listed. So this is one of the things that's required though. So any other questions on this before we proceed? Do I have a motion to accept this proclamation?
Make a motion.
Motion and a second.
Second.
Okay, any questions? All those in favor say aye. Those opposed say no. Next item, motion to approve the retirement of sanitation worker. You have a letter here from employee at sanitation, stating retirement effective May 1st. Any questions or comments on this? Okay, we have a motion to accept this retirement letter.
Make that motion.
Motion, have a second.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor say aye. Those opposed say no. Has that vacant position created by this, and, you know, we're here at the end of April, so this will probably not be filled till after that time, correct? So do we have a motion to advertise open that position for advertisement? Motion. Second? Okay. And we did discuss that last week, correct?
Yes, sir.
Motion second, any further discussion? All those in favor say aye. Those opposed say no. Okay. Next item, motion to approve the surplus trailer at the Parks Department. And we have a note here, 8 foot by 36 foot long trailer to be placed on Gov Deals, correct? Yes. Okay, so do we have a motion to approve that surplus?
Make a motion.
Motion, we have a second.
Second that motion.
Any discussion? And this was discussed last week at a work session also, I believe, correct? Okay, motion and second, all those in favor say aye. Any opposed say no. Okay. Motion to approve hiring review board's recommendation for the vacant HMT1 position of Public Works Department. You have a letter here. Interviews were held on this, and there's a recommendation from the committee. Any questions or comments? I'm sorry, from the review. Okay, do we have a motion to accept the review board's recommendation? Motion, we have a second. And this is filling the position of an HMT1 that had moved to an HMT2, correct?
Yes, sir.
Any other questions or comments? All those in favor say aye. Those opposed say no. Okay, next item, motion to approve hiring temporary laborers for the Public Works Department. It has been requested before. We did discuss this last week about hiring a temporary to assist us with the last bridge project, or to free up a man with this last bridge project. Due to us, this hire that was just made for the HMT1 position and another one of our laborers leaving, we have 2 positions right now that are vacant. So in addition to this one that we wanted to hire new, would the commission be opposed to going ahead and replacing those 2 that were in place for a 6-month period? So you'd have three new laborers, basically 3 new labor positions, or 1 new labor position and 2 that we would replace.
Give us a total of 7.
Give a total of 6, correct?
Yeah, we'll be back to our 7.
Oh, 7,
6 plus the extra one we discussed last
And
week.
we have 4 that already have their time in, some time in.
They've got 2 months in.
3 when.
Yeah, we're 2
these
months
3
in.
to go for an extended 6 months.
Right. Is that suitable?
Yeah. I'll make the motion.
Okay, make a motion to accept that, so we'll have 3 of those temporary positions for a period of 6 months, so that those, to include those 2 vacancies. Okay, I have a motion, I have a second.
Second.
Okay. Any discussion, further discussion? All those in favor say aye. Those opposed say no. Okay. Motion to sign a resolution for County Road 42 drainage structure repair. Mr. Campbell, I'll let you share on that one if you would.
Thank you, Chairman, Commissioners. I have the, in your packet is the part with the pictures attached. We discussed this last week. As Mr. Hodges stated, the agreement will need to be executed today. I also have attached in your packet the estimate. So the latter part of the agreement, you can see the agreement amount as well as the final cost, and this excludes some administrative costs, so we might capture that to it. And then the pictures on the front are just the work as it was completed. So we discussed that work had been done last week. So I wanted to finalize that and show you what work had been done, and show you our cost on that.
Any questions or comments on this?
They did, I was proud of the work they did. They did a good job. We had some calls in. We had 7 to 10 days estimated for the closure.
They finished it in 4, and there was an 8-inch water main on one side and a fiber optic line on the other side. So, pretty large undertaking. I was happy the way it turned out. Pleased with the job Mr. Goff and his team did. There were others as well.
Anything else? Have a motion to approve the resolution.
Make the motion.
Second. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye. Those opposed say no. Next item, discuss the resurfacing project selection. Mr. Campbell.
Should have in your packet, and was emailed last week, toward the latter part of last week. We discussed our situation with 33, shortening that project length, and making another selection for the funds that would roll over. So as we discussed, we would present the two that were up to be chosen the last time with the addition of some roads. So we're presenting 4 to you to choose one. And I'll be happy to answer any questions you have about what's in front of you.
Is this one we need to move forward with tonight?
If we need more time, we're not under the gun, but I would like to move forward so we can get to work on front-end documents and things we need to get moving.
Questions, comments, thoughts?
The vehicles per day on that one on 63, that is correct, 1,067 vehicles a day.
Yeah, there's different sections. Your highest ADT section, that range goes from the county line, which is the other side of 72 on the Grant Mountain side. That's really where you have your highest ADT. And then it varies from there toward the school.
That affecting the school, that's where I say you need to concentrate, but I'm not familiar with those other ones either, so I don't know.
Where is 61 located?
It's County Road 58 to 71. It's in District 2, close to the Pig area.
Other thoughts? Prepared to move forward? Do we want to discuss this at the work session next week and make a decision? 2 weeks from now?
I have a map of the major minor collectors. We'll look at that after this or any other time. And I have some information on what's been resurfaced in the past. Some tallies on where the jobs are landed.
Does this 63 go directly in front of Woodville School?
Yes, sir. 72.
It goes from all the way out, almost to the bank. Well, it goes to the bank, all the way across the highway, right?
Yes, sir.
Does any of these other roads affect the school?
I'm not familiar with 61, but I don't think that
No, sir. 61 is close to physical school.
What kind of project funds are we looking at on there?
The estimate there is by each project.
But what's available to us, or what do we expect to be available to us?
This will be a continuation of this is the federal aid funding, where we can only select major and minor collectors. So it'll be a rollover. Right now,
Okay, whatever dollars.
yes, that balance is around $1 million right now. So October 1, another 500,000. So
Does that include the second phase of County Road 33, or is that not? Is that taken out of that million, or?
No, sir.
Okay. The first phase of County Road 33 included in that million?
No, sir.
Okay.
At what grade, I've got Al about the grading, at what grade do we start jeopardizing that funding?
If you have a rating of a 70 for 3 years, less than a 70 for 3 years or more, then we jeopardize lost funding.
I'll make a motion based on the school that it's affecting, that you choose County Road 63.
I'll second that motion.
Motion and a second for 63. This does have the highest traffic counts also.
Yeah, that's what I was noticing.
Any other questions or comments?
This don't pertain to that, go back to 33, the second phase of 33. We've already approved that, correct?
We did that last year, correct?
So it's in line to go ahead and finish it.
Yes, sir, we have. We've approved the limits. Now, you also signed a resolution, if I'm not mistaken, to resurface a certain limit. So we have reduced that. We are within what you've approved. So if we're in agreement to what we discussed last week on where they're telling us to move the project to, then we'll take those remaining funds, roll it over into the account, add the transfer in that we'll have October 1 and move forward with preparing these plans.
That reduction was on the first phase of 33. though.
Yes, sir, it was.
There was no reduction on second phase.
No, sir,
That's where it was added.
County Road 28 to 32 is still in play as phase 2.
That's next year, correct?
Yes, sir.
And this would fall in line just as soon after that as possible?
Yes, sir.
Any other questions or comments? Okay, we have a motion and a second for 63. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say no. Okay. Next item, motion to approve the resignation of the COA employee. This is for one of our senior center managers. So we'll entertain a motion to approve this resignation.
Make that motion.
Motion, do we have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? I believe in the interim, we fill this position through the employment service that we have a contract with. And the next item would be to advertise that vacant position so that we can move forward and have another full-time staff member, or part-time staff member there. So, motion and a second. Any other questions or comments on the?
Are we gonna go ahead and change what we discussed and put that to the 10?
Not at this point. This will stay, but all the other ones are at that rate. We'll have to
We'll
change
wait,
that.
we'll change it
Right,
all.
we'll change all of them.
Right.
So, we have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say no. Okay, and the final item would be to advertise that vacant position for the senior center manager. Nutrition manager. Motion, do we have a motion for
So
that?
moved.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed say no. Okay, that concludes the items on our agenda. We'll move on to reports. Mr. Porter? Mr. Manning?
Nothing, thank you.
Mr. Kendall? Mr. Robinson?
No.
Ms. Thurman? Mr. Boston? Mr. Venable, you have anything?
Next week, sure.
Woodville.
Community meeting?
Mhm. Community meeting, Woodville.
Is it Monday?
Mhm. So, okay, Mr. Miller,
No, sir.
Mr. Leather?
No, sir.
Okay. So, yeah, next week is at,
Bob Jones.
Bob Jones Community Center in Woodville at 6 p.m. We have a Park Department committee meeting scheduled for 4 p.m. here. So anyone that can make that will be here at 4, and then we'll head straight over there afterwards. And I think that concludes everything. So we'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Motion, we have a second.
Second.
All those in favor say aye. Those opposed say no.